Hello and welcome to the news from Bahrain International. I am Mohammed Yusuf. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, in the presence of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, received heads of parliamentary and legislation councils and their accompanying delegations participating in the 146th session of the Inter-Parliamentary Union Assembly and the accompanying meetings at Khir Palace, which is being hosted by the Kingdom of Bahrain under a royal patronage, in the presence of heads and parliamentary representatives from more than 143 countries in the biggest parliamentary gathering to greet His Majesty the King. His Majesty welcomed the guests and thanked them for attending and participating in this important global event.
Highnesses, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, a very good evening. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all here tonight to this reception, marking the Kingdom of Bahrain's hosting of the 146th General Assembly. This speech of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, King of the Kingdom of Bahrain.
السلام عليكم. أصحاب السمو، أصحاب المعالي والسعادة، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. ويطيب لنا الترحيب بكم شخصياً ضيوفاً كراماً في مملكة البحرين التي تحرص أشد الحرص على تقديم كل ما يلزم لدعم دور هذا الاتحاد البرلماني العريق ومساعيه البارزة والمتواصلة لتحقيق السلام والتعاون بين شعوب العالم لمشاركة شاملة من أجل الرخاء والاستقرار الإنساني. ولقد تابعنا بكل اهتمام القضايا الرئيسية محل النقاش والبحث في اجتماعكم الموقر والمرتبطة بتعزيز التعايش السلمي وتنمية المجتمعات الشاملة والحاضنة لقيم الحرية المنضبطة والعدالة والاعتراف بحقوق الجميع دون تمييز. ونؤكد هنا بأن مملكة البحرين تستمر في دعم ذات القيم الإنسانية التي يحتضنها مجتمعنا المدني ويحرص على إنفاذها لاستقرار ونماء دولة القانون، وذلك من خلال مؤسساتها الدستورية التي تنمو تحت ظلالها مسيرة العمل التشريعي المستندة إلى خلاصة التجارب الوطنية وتستهدي في الوقت ذاته بأعرق وأفضل الممارسات الدولية. ونجد في انعقاد مثل هذا الحدث الهام في مملكة البحرين الفرصة المثالية للتعرف على واقع البناء التشريعي لمجلسنا الوطني بغرفتيه وعلى أهم ما يتميز به هذا البناء بعد أن قطع أشواطاً من العمل الجاد ليسهم بكل فعالية في تقدمنا التنموي وفي الحفاظ على مقومات مجتمعنا المتسامح والمنفتح على متغيرات العصر والحضارة والمتقبل بكل وعي وحسن اختيار لتيارات الفكر والثقافة. ضيوفنا الكرام، لا يسعنا في الختام إلا أن نكرر ترحيبنا بكم وبالإعراب عن تقديرنا لجهودكم في تمثيل الإرادة الشعبية من أجل تحقيق تطلعاتها وآمالها وحفظ مصالحها، شاكرين وممتنين لرئيسي مجلس الشورى والنواب ورئيس وأعضاء اللجنة المنظمة لما قاموا به من متابعات وتحضيرات لهذا التجمع رفيع المستوى على أفضل وجه ممكن، مع خالص تمنياتنا بالتوفيق لكافة مساعيكم الهادفة إلى النهوض بالعمل التشريعي الجماعي من أجل بناء المستقبل بشكل أفضل. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
The President of the International Parliament, Duarte Pacheco, then presented His Majesty with a commemorative gift on the occasion. The guests expressed thanks and appreciation to His Majesty the King for the warm welcome and generous hospitality, and praised the Kingdom for hosting this international gathering and for the outstanding organizing as well as the Kingdom's facilitation to ensure the success of the event. They praised the achievements of the Kingdom in all fields through the legislative role, of the Shura and Representatives Council and appreciated the accomplishments of the kingdom thanks to the wise approach of His Majesty the King in enhancing the values of tolerance, moderation and peaceful coexistence among all. They also praised the kingdom's role and its humanitarian initiatives in enhancing communication and dialogue among civilizations and cultures, and its keenness in supporting peace, security and stability on the regional and international levels. They wished Bahrain further progress and prosperity. His Majesty the King then held a dinner banquet in honor of the guests on the occasion. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, the Honorary President of the Royal Humanitarian Foundation, ordered the disbursement of the annual Ramadan donation to the RHF-sponsored families marking the holy month of Ramadan. His Majesty directed the RHF under the chairmanship of Representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs and RHF Board of Trustees Chairman, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, to oversee the disbursement of the gifts to help Bahraini families cater to their needs during the holy month. His Highness Sheikh Nasser expressed gratitude to His Majesty the King for his care and constant keenness to share the blessings of Ramadan with RHF-sponsored families. The RHF Secretary General, Dr. Mustafa Sayyid, said that His Majesty the King has always been keen on sharing with the RHF-sponsored families on all occasions, including the holy month of Ramadan. He asserted that the royal annual gift emanates from His Majesty the King's care and aims to ensure stable livelihood for all citizens, adding that His Majesty's annual grant benefits more than 11,000 orphans and widows. The National Guard Commander General His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Isa Al Khalifa met with the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff in Pakistan Armed Forces, General Sahar Shamshad Mirza, at the staff headquarters in Rawalpindi on the sidelines of His Highness's visit to Pakistan. Upon His Highness's arrival, he was received by the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and a number of senior Pakistani military leaders, where an official reception ceremony was held for His Highness and the national anthems of two countries were played. His Highness then inspected the Guard of Honor, and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff welcomed His Highness's visit, which comes in light of developing bilateral military relations. On the occasion, His Highness hailed the high level of cooperation and military exchange between the two sides and the role of the Pakistani Army in supporting regional and international security and stability. The two sides discussed a number of topics of common interest and reviewed cooperation and friendship between the two countries at various levels, especially the military. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdul Latif Zayani, attended the closing ceremony of the International Diplomat Diyafa program organized by the Mohammed bin Mubarak Academy for Diplomatic Studies and BMA at Bahrain National Theatre, which hosted a number of international diplomats from various countries. And BMA Executive Director, Dr. Sheikh Hamnira bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, delivered a speech in which she expressed thanks and gratitude to the Foreign Affairs Minister for his support, which contributed to the success of the program, stressing that the Academy will continue to exert efforts for the advancement of the Kingdom. She also briefed the attendees on the program and its courses and field visits, extending thanks to all governmental institutions and civil societies for their cooperation in enriching the information of the diplomats participating in the program, and to the foreign affairs ministries of the participants for their cooperation. During the ceremony, a number of diplomats delivered speeches in which they thanked the Academy for the wonderful experience and warm hospitality. Dr. Zayani presented certificates of honor to the participating international diplomats. He expressed thanks to the Academy for organizing the program, highlighting its notable role in promoting connection between international diplomats and consolidating friendship and cooperation relations between Bahrain and different countries, wishing everyone further success. The assembly of the IPU concluded in Bahrain, where the Kingdom organized the 146th IPU Assembly and its accompanying meetings, which received praise from regional and international officials.
The event was amazing. Not just because more than 2,000 people decide to attend, but also 140 delegations, 60 speakers of parliament. But after it, the work during this week was also very fruitful. We talk about Pacific coexistence, and this is the correct place to do it, where people from different cultures, different nationalities, different religions can be together and work together and live together and in harmony. This is the spirit of IPU, to put the dialogue as the only way to solve conflicts.
I think we have all seen what has transpired during this week in Manama. We have been able to meet here in Manama at the invitation of the authorities of the Kingdom of Bahrain, especially His Majesty the King. And it has been possible for the parliamentary community to focus on issues of global importance here in Manama. So Manama has this week been the parliamentary capital of the world. This afternoon, a number of resolutions and decisions will be taken, including the adoption of a declaration, a Manama Declaration, that stresses the importance of people to live together as one humanity, respecting each person's opinions, views, religion, and all of that.
His Highness the Kuwaiti Deputy Emir and Crown Prince Sheikh Mash'al Ahmed received Arab and Gulf information ministers and representatives of information ministers participating in the 98th regular session of the Standing Committee for Arab Media and the 16th regular session of the Executive Office of the Council of Arab Information Ministers on the occasion of their convening in Kuwait. His Highness welcomed the ministers, stressing that this event reflects the keenness to advance Arab media and the cohesion and cooperation between Arab countries through unifying media discourse. His Highness affirmed Kuwait's support of advancing Arab media in all its fields and developing joint media work on the Arab and international levels. He noted the importance of the Arab media discourse to confront rumors and their dangers and develop a strategy for dealing with social media. Bahrain National Theatre has screened the premiere of the documentary Leap of Faith, depicting the historic visit of His Holiness Pope Francis to Bahrain. The Pope visit to the kingdom on November 3rd to the 6th at the invitation of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. The documentary sheds light on the historic visit's importance that confirm Bahrain's deep-rooted messages as a home of human fraternity and peace and a meeting place for religions, cultures and civilizations. The event was attended by ministers, senior officials, religious leaders and people involved in the making of the documentary.
Today is a special day, especially for me as a Minister of Information, overseeing the media sector here in Bahrain. We are celebrating the movie premiere for the documentary that was prepared upon the occasion of the visit of His Holiness Pope Francis to Bahrain. The documentary documents not only the visit and the important events that took place in that visit, but also the Bahrain as a coexistent model and the richness of its history, its culture, and its diversity.
The Pope's visit to Bahrain is a historic milestone in our modern history. We have dedicated an exhibition at the foyer of the National Museum that showcased that visit to the public. And that exhibition has been very popular amongst our visitors, both Bahrainis and tourists equally. This movie, I think, is another milestone in documenting this visit from a different perspective, as we have seen in the premiere this evening at the National Theatre. It showcases the human element of that visit and some of the behind-the-scenes preparations that took place across all sectors of our community.
Happy to be this evening. By chance, I arrived this morning from Abu Dhabi to assist at this leap of faith and to remember the historical visit of Pope Francis here in Bahrain last November, where I was highly involved, and that, which expressed also the high esteem for the Kingdom of Bahrain and as a place of understanding, of dialogue, of mutual acceptance.
Tonight's movie premiere is indeed a very significant occasion here in the Kingdom of Bahrain. I personally was very privileged to be part of this documentary, and indeed the title of it, which says Leap of Faith, in itself speaks volumes, because here in the Kingdom of Bahrain, our visionary leadership, His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, has always taken great strides to ensure that here in this beautiful nation of all faiths, we enjoy peaceful coexistence.
In fact, I'm so happy that this documentary is going to stress a lot more about the peaceful coexistence of people in the Kingdom of Bahrain and the role the King and this royal family and the people of Bahrain show to the entire world it is possible to live in peaceful coexistence.
Well, I hope that this film has an impact across the world. I think for me, the fascination about Bahrain and the Pope's visit was, first of all, it was a global event, an event that was going to be broadcast in media across the world. So to make a film about that was obviously very important.
The Minister of Industry and Commerce, Abdullah Fakhram, met Indian PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry President Anil Khaitan. The meeting discussed joint Bahraini-Indian project, which would enhance existing economic relations and develop trade exchange. The minister praised the distinguished levels of cooperation between the two countries and expressed keenness to develop promising investment opportunities and increase the investments and exchanges. He highlighted the influential role of the chambers and their committees in developing joint trade and industrial exchange.